Hey fish people, welcome back to the channel. So for today, we're going to do a little semi-review of a tank kind of thing. It's a tank that I have several of. You can actually see about 3, if not 4 of them in this shot. Currently behind me, it's the Topfin 5-gallon tanks. These are from PetSmart, and I love them. So let's get into this review. So I like these tanks because they're extremely affordable and they're not going to break the bank. So these things come in a few sizes. They have a 2.5 size, a 3.5 size, and a 5-gallon size. I have personally only used the 2.5s and the 5s, and you can get them on sale and they'll be cheap in price. The 2.5s, I think I've gotten them as low as 20 bucks before. The 5 gallons I've gotten as low as 30 before on sale. The normal price is like 45. And then the 3.5, which I don't own, is of course also 20. And they'll occasionally run sales on these, so you can get them at all different prices and different sizes to fit your needs. Now, I like them because, to me, they're the perfect size for betta fish. And they come with a filter, and the filter to me is a nice low flow. I'll try and get some footage and show you the flow here. But I just think it's a nice low flow for your betta fish, so you don't have a bunch of movement in the tank. And it just lets them, you know, chill out at the top of the water level. And the other nice thing about these is they are small. They are compact. They're not exactly a square. They're a small bow front tank. So, you know, if you don't like bow fronts, maybe don't go with these guys. But the 2.5 gallon is 8.5 by 10 3/4 by 10 1/3. The 5 gallons are 9 3/4 by about 15.5 by 13 1/4. So they're small tanks. They fit perfectly on bookshelves and stuff of that nature. I repurposed a bookshelf to use as a betta stand thing for these guys. So to me, it's a perfect tank for a betta fish. Also a good size for smaller nano fish. They're taller than a normal 5-gallon cube or a 5-gallon long kind of thing, like the bullets. So you could grow plants in them, like stem plants and stuff, because you got a little more of that height there. A 10-inch height on the 2.5 and a 13-inch height on the 5. Again, I've not used the 3.5, so I'm not sure about them. But for them, the size is 12-inch high. So again, perfect size for a smaller stem plant that's not going to get super tall. The light's not the best on them. It is a low light. But I have successfully grown Java Fern, various Anubiases, some Mayaka. Swords do okay, but not super well. And then I've got Bacopa and stuff growing them as well. So you can definitely grow some plants in them. I think the price point is perfect as well. Again, I've gotten them as low as 20 to 30 bucks for these. And they just fit my needs. They're nice and small. They're not huge, long 5-gallon tanks. I can fit them in more concise spaces. As for stocking, I've also done schooling fish in them. I have a group of dwarf emerald rasboras hanging out in one of my 5s. That's got 4 different kinds of plants in it. Some mosses. And they do great in there. So these tanks are just good for people like nano fish, and I love nano fish. Now, I'm looking at the picture on the website here. They've got a swordtail, a gourami, neons, and a singular cory in there. That's not how I would stock these at all. I'll be doing a video in the future about stocking a 5-gallon tank, but for me, a betta fish is perfect for these. Get yourself a heater, because they don't come with a heater, but 25-watt heater, you'll be set with these guys. You could do, your dwarf emerald rasboras. You could do blue neon rasboras. You could do neon tetras in these. You could do ember tetras. In this, I would say stay away from anything that's going to get bigger than 2 inches. I would probably stay more to the inch, 1.5 inches, unless it's a singular betta fish. So you definitely have options with these tanks. Not a lot of options, but you do have some stocking options, and I will be doing a whole video about stocking a 5-gallon in the near future. But I think this overall, for the price point, the size, you get the filter. They're also plastic, so they are very light to pick up. I can pick up a full 5-gallon and move it no problem. They have a plastic rim and a plastic bottom. The filter does come with cartridges, but I take those out and just put a small sponge in there, and it works fine. The intake is not super big. You could use these for shrimp tanks. The intake's also at the top. Some of the negatives, let's see, the light is not the best. The size is small, but I think it's slightly better than other 5 gallons on the market. The filter, has a lower flow and the intake does not go very far down. It only goes about 4 or 5 inches into the water, so not a lot of bottom filtration being picked up there. But I just think overall it's a good tank, especially if you're looking for something small. The 2.5 is also a good size. So I would say if you need something smaller for your betta fish, you don't have the room for the 5, the 2.5 will be fine. I have kept many bettas in these 2.5s. You still want a heater. You can still grow plants in them. You can still make your betta a nice, comfortable home in them. So overall, these tanks, depending on if you can get them on sale or not, I'm going to go ahead and give them an 8.5, just because they are a lower end tank. But they do work. They're not your fancy aquascaping 5 gallons, but they do work very well. Thank you all very much for watching the video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, if you're not subscribed and you like this kind of content, think about hitting that sub button. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your opinion on these tanks. And leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. If you didn't, leave a dislike so I know. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.